All right, this is the grounding block for all the avionics that's mounted on the firewall. George, who's doing the avionics, my building partner, says he needs that. That can only mean that we're getting close to firing up the avionics. I know he's working on programming the VPX. He's done all of the wiring, the design, the CAN bus, in, out, up, down, all around. It's kind of stuff that I do for work, but I have no interest in doing it for this. He was all gung-ho to do it, and been working on it for quite a bit. And I think we're getting really close to put that in, which brings us to me getting 5 gallons of fuel to bring that thing alive. And I'm gonna go to George's and bring him the grounding block and see what he's got. Wanna come? All right, here we are. The old panel. We got lots and lots of wires, lots and lots of harnesses, lots and lots of connectors. My head's spinning and I didn't even do it. Here's the mastermind behind it with a headache himself. And what we're doing now is, George, tell us what we're doing.
We're going to power up the vertical power.
Okay.
I'm going to show you all the different configuration settings for the circuits.
All right.
Preloaded it with the configuration. So vertical power has an online planner tool.
Yep.
That you use to build all the circuits and set all the breaker sizes for the individual things, and then the different like flap and autopilot servo trim things, as well as the wig-wag lights. So we'll power it up and we'll see all the settings, and we can kind of test individual things.
Wow. So for those that don't know, this basically replaces a fuse box or a circuit breaker. You know, generally planes have all these ugly circuit breakers sprawled throughout, and you can argue there's advantages and disadvantages to either, but this is all solid state, fully programmable. You can program all the limits of your, continuous current draw, peak current draw, when you want it to trigger, when you don't want it to trigger, what do you want to reset, and everything gets controlled through the G3X screen. Now, being a car guy and doing this stuff the old-fashioned way all my life, I'm pretty excited to see this. So yeah, we'll get to that in a second. We also have all of these switches put on a removable plug, so literally this whole thing can kind of snap out. We have the switch guards on here, which is really nice. We have one for this side too. 2 G3Xs, we already talked about the center stack, and G5 in here. And finding few and things that we had to add, change, or figure out along the way. I know the illumination was a big bit of confusion trying to get something that seems really simple to work the way we actually want it to work. So we use that piece, also solid state, with a couple of dimmers that are going to go there. And yeah, long journey with lots of connectors and endless diagrams and planning. But all right, should I get the fire extinguisher ready?
It's already been powered up, so I know that it's no...
oh, okay. And the house is still standing, so that's good.
Smoke.
All right. We'll be right back. All right. So here we go. We're turning on the fancy power supply.
Yep, so we got a bench power supply. This does up to 10 amps.
Nice.
I have it pre-configured for 12.5 volts.
Alrighty.
We're going to be over 12 volts because of the alternator anyways, but... and then I just wanted to validate that the voltage was correct before we power this thing. The one way you can see, as soon as I turn it on, you'll see the Ethernet lights start blinking.
All right. So we are basically downloaded the app from Vertical Power. Lights are blinking. Smoke is absent. We are good.
And it's only drawing like just under 0.2 amps.
Yep.
So we'll do this VPX config tool, connect using Ethernet. Just takes a minute for it to configure the Ethernet interface.
So we're kind of just talking about running all the different things on primary power, secondary power. We got backup batteries, and found this little guy, and that's actually the backup battery that goes in back of the G5. Looks like two 18650 cells stacked in there, and that'll be on its own circuit. So that's pretty cool. So happy 2024 first of all, New Year's Day, and I just went to upload the video that I took yesterday at George's, and I was kind of wondering why there's so little, you know, so many few gigabytes. And turns out there's one section that he pretty elaborately explained how you can configure, you know, each individual circuit and all the circuits that he had laid out for this particular project, and how you can program it to do wigwags under certain speeds. And it was pretty detailed, but knucklehead me, film crew, I had it in photo mode, so when I hit record, it just took some awkward pictures of us. Kind of stinks, but looking forward to getting this video up and looking forward to what's left to do. Talk about that for a second. This is basically what we got to do before we go to the hangar. Panel install and the wiring, the T-bone, which is this guy right here. I do some measurements. I have the wings in the basement, so gonna look into that. Obviously we can't fit the wings while it's in this garage, but we can get it, you know, started. Mount the horizontal, the vertical, and the closeout. We have the rudder just kind of sitting in there. I want to see how it fits. So basically, haven't done anything back there because once that is on, it takes up all the space that we have. Now, that being said, I suppose now that I'm done with this part, we can do that because I can just cram the engine into a corner. So that's something I'll take some measurements. Run the engine, definitely want to do that. The smoke tank storage that's behind the passenger seat, I just got to finalize that. Originally I was thinking doing like a 5-gallon tank and having it swappable with storage, but I'm kind of leaning towards just doing a 2-gallon tank with storage permanently in front of it. The wings, they have their own list. You got to drill the forward spar mount. We're putting a VHF antenna in the right wing tip, weigh the wings, and balance the flaps in the ailerons and the elevator actually, and get the rest of the rivet stems up. And yeah, I think that's all I can think of. I keep writing stuff down as I think of it. Obviously there's a bunch of odds and ends that need to be finished up, and some of these things are a lot more time consuming than others. But anyway, I'll end the video here. That's the update for the beginning of 2024. Our goal is to definitely have this flying this year, and keep making some videos. All right, thank you. Enjoy.